police say this teenager was murdered. She was found dead in her burning car. Well, now her mother wants to look her daughter's killer in the eye. Channel 2's Tom Jones reports from Southwest Atlanta. He tells us about a bank where someone tried to use the teenager's debit card.
I want you to see my face. I want you to know how much I love my daughter.
Pearlie Haynes is very angry at the killer who took her daughter's life and left her in her burning car.
I hope your mama tell on you, because if you were gone, your mama would be feeling the same pain I'm feeling now.
Authorities found the body of 18-year-old Taylor Torres in her burning car on Connolly Court January 9th.
It's taking a piece of my heart. It's taking my only daughter.
Now police have released to me these surveillance images of a man who used Taylor's debit card at this BB&T bank in the Camp Creek marketplace hours after she was murdered. I showed Haynes the photos and the distinctive shoes the suspect had on.
Somebody's gonna know those shoes. Somebody knows that person.
Police also believe the suspect had on what looks like a badge. They also gave me this video of the car driven by someone who dropped the suspect off. Haynes is sure someone can recognize him.
Please come forward. Come forward. Tell someone.
Meanwhile,
there are butterflies everywhere in here.
Haynes took me inside her daughter's old bedroom. Taylor loved butterflies and she loved to paint. She used to sit at a mirror here and make up her face all day.
And she'll never be sitting in that spot doing her makeup again.
That was Channel 2's Tom Jones reporting. You should contact East Point Police if you can help them identify.
Breaking news tonight, Shreveport police arrest 3 men they claim shot and killed SPD officer Chatéri Payne. KSLA News 12 was the only station there when police booked the 3 men into jail tonight.
Let's look at that video, and there are their mug shots taken just a short time ago. Shreveport police charged 26-year-old Treveon Anderson, 22-year-old Lawrence Pierre, and 38-year-old Glenn Frierson with second-degree murder.
KSLA News 12's Melissa Kakarika joins us live.
And Melissa, details are slim, and these 3 taken into custody without police ever releasing any type of suspect description or information makes you wonder if these 3 were in their sights the entire time. What have you learned tonight?
Well, Doug, that's information we don't know yet. Shreveport police only saying they, along with law enforcement across the region, were able to work tirelessly to track down information and evidence tonight, confirming to us those 3 arrests. Again, our cameras were rolling just a short time ago as they were transported to the city jail. We were the only station there. Police confirmed the arrest of 26-year-old Treveon Anderson, who lives on Midway Avenue where the shooting happened and may be some type of boyfriend to Officer Payne. They also tell us they've also charged 22-year-old Lawrence Pierre and 38-year-old Glenn Frierson with second-degree murder as well. The investigation is not over. It's still ongoing at this hour, and police are going to hold a media briefing tomorrow morning at the Shreveport Police Department right here at 10 o'clock to further discuss the arrest of the suspect. At that time, we might learn more information about what led them to the suspects, what evidence they have, and whether anyone has confessed. That's all questions that we still have, as well as questions about what led up to the shooting of Officer Payne. We'll, of course, be right here at 10 a.m. for that briefing, streaming live on the KSLA News 12 app and bringing you updates right here on air. But again, those 3 men confirmed to us to be arrested and charged tonight with the murder of Chatéri Payne. Melissa Kakarika, KSLA News 12.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Here's a timeline of how we arrived to tonight's arrest. Last Wednesday, just before 8:30, police found Officer Payne shot and killed on Midway Avenue. Police say she was preparing to go on shift when she was shot. She was in uniform when she was shot. The next day, Police Chief Ben Raymond and Mayor Adrian Perkins held a news conference to identify Officer Payne and release details on this shooting. Tonight, police arrested 3 men in connection to her death: 22-year-old Lawrence Pierre, 26-year-old Treveon Anderson, and 38-year-old Glenn Frierson. Police tell us tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock they will hold another news conference to discuss tonight's arrest. We, of course, will stream that news conference tomorrow for you and bring you live updates on KSLA News 12 as well as our mobile app. A viewing for Officer Payne will take place Friday at noon at Winfield Funeral Home in Shreveport. The wake is Friday at 6 at Summer Grove Baptist Church. And Officer Payne's funeral will be held Saturday morning at 11, also at Summer Grove Baptist Church.
Good morning, my faithful lawyer YouTube subscribers. Today it is Thursday. It is the 17th of January. It's like this month's flying by. All right, so those are two news articles that caught my attention. An 18-year-old girl, a college student who was killed here in Atlanta, and they burned her, put her body in her car and set it afire. They don't know who did this crime. They're still actively seeking suspects. And the rookie police officer in Shreveport, Louisiana, who was shot and killed, her boyfriend and two of his associates have been arrested and charged with her murder, which is, you have to wonder what's going through a person's mind to kill your girlfriend. What could have been going on between the two of them that murder was the only option? A few weeks ago, there was an incident in Texas where a shooting took place against the family of the little girl was killed, and originally they said it was a white guy who possibly did the shooting in a red pickup truck. I'm sure you all are familiar with that story. The little girl was killed by she was with her mother going to make a coffee run. There was such a public outcry in Texas with people marching, screaming, hollering, and upset, protesting. They wanted to find out who did this, because they were under the assumption that it was a white man who did the murders, who shot up this family's car. But isn't it funny how everything quieted down when they found out that there was actually some black folks involved in this? When it was a white guy, they were rioting, protesting, marching up and down the street. But when they found out it was somebody black, utter silence. It makes me wonder, have we become immune to the crime and violence that has invaded our communities? Because, whenever it's a black person involved as the criminal who did the shooting or who harmed the victim, we don't hear much. We don't hear any outcry from our community. I could be wrong, but you don't hear anything, even if it's little children. It's silence. But the minute we think the perpetrator was white or a police officer, all hell breaks loose. Am I the only one noticing this? Although they haven't made an arrest in the crime of the 18-year-old girl here in the car, the college student who was in her car and set a fire, they do have a suspect who's clearly a black person with some dragonfly shoes on, where the hell he bought them damn things at, and who attempted to use her debit card after they then murdered this woman and set her afire. They go try to use her debit card. So more likely they will find out who did this crime, and more likely the person is black. And we won't hear nothing else about this in our communities. We have accepted the violence and mayhem from black folks as if it's just a regular everyday ham sandwich. Not a big deal at all. But had this suspect been somebody white or a police officer marching, protesting, screaming, and hollering, but every day black folks kill black folks and nobody gives a damn. And it's scary to me. It's frightening, because we have, as a community, we've dropped the ball on this. We won't say nothing. We don't care. Are we just, something's wrong here. And we just act like it's nothing. There's no outcry. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I watch the news every day. I'm a news fanatic. I watch CNN. I read the newspapers. the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Los Angeles. I read so many newspaper or news articles over here. I'm very aware of what's going on in our communities, pretty much nationwide. I read stuff like Baltimore Sun, I believe, our Chicago Sun-Times. I read a lot of articles and I subscribe to this news service, and the articles pop up, and I just read them. And there's a lot of stuff happening in our communities across America. Let me tell y'all something. We are active. We're not saying anything. I could post 15, 20 stories, news reports a day about the crimes of murder in our communities, and nobody's saying one word. Like I said, we accept it just like eating a ham sandwich or going to get to something from a restaurant or something. We've accepted it as if it is just normal. And it's not. But we've accepted it as if it is just, we've allowed our communities to be invaded, and this has been going on for a while, by violent predators. And we don't say anything. There is no outcry. There's no desire to fix the problem. There's no desire to find out what's caused the problem. What's causing this issue? Why? And many of us act like we don't see it. Blind. Many of us walk around with blinders on. I was reading a report here, I was reading something on Facebook, where people were trying to say South Fulton County, Southwest ATL and South Fulton County is safer than Buckhead. All them carjackings, all that slider crimes going on down there, people getting shot and killed, all this mayhem and bullshit going on in South Fulton, they're safer than Buckhead. These niggas was trying to promote this shit. And I'm thinking, so I've commented on a couple of times, they attacked me. I feel much safer up on Peachtree Street any day of the week, pretty much any time, than I would on down off Old National or Camp Creek Parkway. And I go down to those areas. I see all that police down, all the crime and stuff going on down in those areas. Where officers just had to shoot and kill the guy. It's just, like, an officer just shot and killed a guy who broke into a police car, thought it was an undercover police car, officer's car, and he didn't realize, I guess, the little sliding people slid into the car and drove off in the car, and he shot and killed the ass at a gas station I'm very familiar with. This happened just a few days ago, day before yesterday. People get shot and killed on the south side of town every day. But they say it's safer. These were black folks saying this. Oh, it's safer down here than Buckhead. We don't know why people want to go to Buckhead, because they can live without a bullet in their damn head. When I lived in Buckhead, I didn't see any of the crime and chaos and confusion I saw down there in South Fulton County. Do we wear blinders? Are we naive? Something's strange to me about this. And I look at black folks and see, if we don't discuss this stuff, because people are going to get mad. You a coon. You always choosing the bad stuff that's going to point out the good stuff. Well, you pointed out. I ain't know, bro. Y'all can point out and post all the good stuff you want to. I tell people all the time, send me the good stuff. Send me the good stuff. I'll talk about it. Send it to me. I ain't got shit yet. But there's a lot of good stuff going on in our communities. You need to post that. Well, send me the good stuff. I post about some of this stuff. And when I do videos about the good stuff, everybody look at it and say, I don't know shit about that enough. Show me the good stuff. I know there's good stuff that's going on. I know the news doesn't report this type of stuff, so that's up to us to report that. So when you see stuff good going on in our communities, let's report it. But let's not be naive enough to ignore the bad shit going on too. We cannot be that stupid. Because if we ever want to change our communities, the first thing we got to admit, we got a motherfucking problem. And try to fix it. But to ignore it. Act like it doesn't exist. Pretend everything's honky-dory, it ain't working. Why would an 18-year-old kid, what could have happened if they felt the need to kill this girl and set her ass afire and nobody has said one word? I saw this for the past 2 days, and it outraged me to the point that I was like, what was this beautiful black girl, beautiful woman. And it broke my heart because I'm just watching this and thinking, wow, nobody cared. Yeah, you're not going to hear anything about it other than that girl's mother out there raising hell about her daughter. It's just not a big deal to them. It's just no big deal. And we have to acknowledge we have a problem in our communities so we can fix it. There's nothing wrong with that. But we don't want to acknowledge it. But had it been somebody white or a police officer, they'd be marching up and down on nationals. And I think that girl was caught on Washington Road or something. I forget where her body was found out. And I just don't know. Like I said, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not understanding a lot of this craziness. And it's frightening and scary. And that mother's out there trying to, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. You know, and it's just, it's mind-boggling to me. And it saddens me. But anyway, today it is, anyway, I just got a text from one of my friends. One of my friends who's in the hospital, he just died. I just got his partner just text me. And I didn't get a chance to get to, anyway. So I got to deal with that. Let me deal with this. Today is Thursday the 17th of January. And y'all have a good day.